All right, so what we're talking about today is LinkedIn career strategy. Glad you're here today to tune into this great video. We're going to share with you some great information on LinkedIn profiles, how to accelerate your career by the use of your LinkedIn profile. So a lot of people come out and reach out to us and they say, I want to get more help with my LinkedIn profile. Or I don't have a LinkedIn profile. What's the trick to leveraging great career results through LinkedIn? There's a lot of different strategies you can use today to get into a company besides LinkedIn. However, LinkedIn is one of the greatest resources that you can use to develop your career. Now, it's possible to get interviews through LinkedIn. It's possible to really engage with many different people across a company, not just recruiters and hiring managers nowadays. You can actually engage with executives, vice presidents, directors, even members of the board, all the way down through many different levels of the company. Before LinkedIn and a lot of social media sites, professional social media sites, I should say, it was really more challenging to engage with people at all of those different levels of a company. But what I want to start with before we go into really the LinkedIn career strategy is I want to talk about why it's so important to have a LinkedIn profile. So one thing is you really have to take a step back and you want to think about this as a recruiter or from the standpoint of a hiring manager. If you're looking to hire people and you have a resume in front of you, let's just say you've got 3 resumes, who are you more likely to invest your time and attention into? Someone who's easily found on LinkedIn, has a great LinkedIn profile, or someone who doesn't have a LinkedIn profile and is not easily searched, someone who's hard to find. You're probably, for credibility's sake, going to be more inclined to engage with a person who's got a great resume, who's got a great LinkedIn profile, who's got tons of endorsements on their LinkedIn profile, as opposed to somebody who doesn't have a profile. So just being able to be found is really important. So I'm just going to go into 3 tips here on how you can really create a great LinkedIn profile. So just to get into this, number 1, and this marker is going to give me maybe a tough time, is to be searchable. I think that's pretty much legible, but be searchable, meaning have a LinkedIn profile. Now, there's so many people out there who surprisingly don't have a LinkedIn profile. If you don't, it's all right. Now's the time to get one going. But I was just talking to a good friend of mine recently. He works for Boeing Aviation Company. A lot of people have heard of Boeing just from traveling, commercial flights throughout the country or throughout the rest of the world. And Boeing, inside Boeing, my friend Ryan works for a division called PhantomWorks. Now, PhantomWorks is one of their highest divisions. It's a top secret division. You have to have top secret clearance to work in this particular division. And not only has he been in this division for quite some time, he's actually scaled one position after the next, and he's continued to be promoted inside of PhantomWorks at Boeing. And so while we were having lunch, I asked him, I said, you've got this LinkedIn profile, and he goes, yeah. And he jumped right in and he goes, listen, I've got a LinkedIn profile and you're not going to believe how many offers I get just to engage with other companies, to come and interview, to have conversations with their recruiters and hiring managers just because they find me on LinkedIn. And he goes, it's every week that he's getting invitations from other companies to explore opportunities with them. Now, he's not interested in leaving Boeing right now, but he is looking at his LinkedIn profile often. He's got an amazing branded profile, and that's just a feather in his hat, so to speak, or an ace in his deck of cards in terms of the tools that he can use to get into a new position quickly if he wanted one. So He's searchable. Now, I'm going to just throw another story out there for contrast. I've got another good friend of mine who works for another Fortune 100 company. He's been promoted continuously throughout that company, yet he doesn't have a LinkedIn profile. I recently spoke with him just this week, and I said, I'm not going to name his name actually, just for confidentiality's sake, but I said, hey, I know you've been looking to move back to your hometown. How's that going? I know you were working with your company to get transitioned back into where you grew up. How's that going? And he basically said he's still in a holding pattern with the company. They're still trying to get him back to his hometown, and it's taking some time. And he's been waiting for about a year and a half. And I said, listen, why don't you use your LinkedIn profile to engage with recruiters and hiring managers? And he goes, well, I don't have a LinkedIn profile. So basically, he's got limited options in terms of what he can do because he doesn't have any feelers out in the marketplace. So I said, listen, you gotta get your LinkedIn profile going, start engaging recruiters online, and be searchable, be able to be found, because a lot of the time, hiring managers and recruiters, they don't necessarily want to start all the way at the bottom and find somebody who's unemployed, or find somebody. And if you are unemployed right now, that's okay. You can still do this and engage with people on LinkedIn. It's the best method. But they prefer to engage with people who already have jobs through LinkedIn and poach them from other great companies. Amazon is definitely known for doing this. Who else can I name out here? Google, Facebook, Williams-Sonoma, Restoration Hardware. All of these companies are big on poaching candidates through LinkedIn. So if you don't have a presence on LinkedIn, if you're not searchable, you're missing out on opportunities, you're missing out on offers, and you really need to get onto LinkedIn. So going on to number 2, and you know what, I'm just going to use this page because I like to save trees. Number 2, as far as tips for LinkedIn, is, write it out here. This is a well-branded profile. That's number 2, is have a well-branded profile. So again, recruiters and hiring managers, as soon as they get your resume and they're considering you for a position, the second thing that they're gonna do is they're gonna go straight to your LinkedIn profile. And if you have a well-branded profile, that's the second check that they're going through to make sure that you're a great candidate to come into their company. That's how recruiters think is, how many different places can I check to make sure and verify that this candidate checks out? Because the worst decision that any hiring manager can make is making a bad decision for the company and bringing somebody on board who isn't a great fit for the company for whatever the reason. So they want to see your resume first. The second places they're going is your LinkedIn profile. And they want to see your picture. They're going to take a look at all of your positions that you've listed. They want to make sure the resume marries up with your LinkedIn profile. All of these things are very, very crucial to them. And the more well-branded your profile is, the more fluid and smooth your interactions are going to be with that company. If they see great value in your LinkedIn profile, like, wow, not only does this person have all of this stuff on their resume, but they also have articles that they've been publishing. They're an authority in their industry. They've been publishing these articles. They've got 500 plus connections. It looks like they've been publishing different things to add value in their business social circles, so to speak, over the last 5 years. People want easily searchable people who are contributing online and in their communities. If you've got volunteer hours, let's say you volunteered for Ronald McDonald, or you're volunteering at United Way Foundation, and you've got that on there. It just paints a bigger picture for recruiters and hiring managers to get a better idea of who you are. And the more well-rounded that you seem, the more that they're going to want to engage with you and take you to the next step in the hiring process, whether it be a phone interview, whether it be an in-person interview. And they'll probably be looking at your LinkedIn profile all throughout the hiring process. So if you make the phone interview, let's say, they probably already looked at your LinkedIn profile. If you made it to the first round of interviews, with whether it's a panel of people or it's just one director, one hiring manager, chances are they already looked at your LinkedIn profile. Every time you go to interview, there's people looking at your LinkedIn profile to see who you are, learn more about you, and this is in every step of the hiring process. So it's really, you start to see how important this LinkedIn profile is. And it's the same with your resume, but people are at their computers most of the time and they want to engage with basically the Facebook of the career marketplace, which is LinkedIn. So number 3, I'm gonna hop right into this. Number 3, and I'm running out of space here, so let's just go to the next one. And here we go. Number 3 is this is important. And I'll go into some detail on this. And it's, number 3 is have great endorsements. So endorsements and recommendations are something you can have on your profile. Basically, people can go onto your profile if you don't know what this is. A lot of people out there, I'm sure, know what this is. If that's you, then just hang on for a second. But for those of you who don't have great endorsements on your profile, people recommending you. So you can go onto LinkedIn and friends of yours, it's preferably colleagues, people who are authority figures, your boss, your manager, supervisor, have them go onto your profile and write something, a favorable review or recommendation of you and your qualifications and what you've done for their company. So let's say, for example, my friend Ryan at Boeing, he has at the bottom of his profile, it's more to the middle or the bottom of the page, about 15 different people who have said, Ryan is great to work with. He's had such a positive impact on our team. His innovative skills and ideas have really taken the revenue here at our company, I'm just riffing here, to a whole new level. Something to that effect. It's probably different because he's at Boeing, but you know, Ryan's skills and engineering abilities have allowed us to take our whole missile defense program to the next level. He's cut costs in our team by 20% using innovative measures, and his analytical skills are fabulous. You know, something to that effect. And you don't want to wait till the last minute to where you know you're scrambling on your LinkedIn profile saying like, how can I get a bunch of endorsements? You want to do this at every position that you're in, with every supervisor, with your colleagues, with your team members, and it's just it just takes a second to say, hey, would you mind just going onto my LinkedIn profile and just writing a little bit about your experience in working with me? And most people are happy to do it. But what happens is when a recruiter or a hiring manager goes onto your LinkedIn profile, and if they see you've got a ton of different recommendations from people in high places, that means the world to have other people vouching for you. It demonstrates trustworthiness, it demonstrates credibility, and that's really the keys in what hiring managers and recruiters are looking for when it comes to hiring somebody. So having those endorsements on there is great, and that's something that's going to allow you to get past hurdles with recruiters and get your foot in the door and start interviewing, as opposed to candidates who don't. And again, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile and you're trying to engage companies and you're not easily searchable, again, number 1, if a recruiter can't find you, it's a potential red flag to them that you're not the right person to engage with, because they want to know that you're out there, that other people know who you are, that you're a good professional, that you're a good citizen, that you're not someone who's just hanging out in the woodwork. And I think that makes sense with a lot of people. If they can't find you, then it's going to be tough for you. So make sure you do have a LinkedIn profile. I'll throw out one more tip too, because I think this is equally important. This is really the whole purpose of this LinkedIn profile from the get-go. And if you're not doing this, then none of it really matters. And it's engaging. And it's engaging with relevant people and companies. So you want to engage with relevant people and companies. What does that really mean? Well, it means that once you have your LinkedIn profile totally set up, You want to be engaging with hiring managers and recruiters. And not only that, but you want to be engaging with people, and that is if you're actively looking for a job, you want to be engaging with people at companies that matter, that are in good positions, whether it's a director, whether it's an executive vice president, whether it's the president of a company, whether it's even a product manager at a company or an engineer. You can reach out to people at companies you want to work for and say, hey, listen, I really admire your career. I'd love to connect with you and hear how you got into the position that you're in today. And most people, not all, but most people want to engage with people. And this is about networking. And this is the whole thing, is networking. You want to network with people and form a powerful network. So in 2015, a study came out, and the study said that 85% of people are getting jobs through networking. And that's a profound number when you think about 85%. 85% of people, if you can read that, 85% of people are getting jobs through networking. Now, I don't think that's right based on the research that we've done at Hired&Co. And our research basically shows that it's somewhere between 40 and 50%. But even if you're at 50% of people getting jobs through networking, then that's a profound number. That's half of people out there getting jobs through networking. It's the people that they're engaging. It's the people that they're reaching out to. It's the people and the people connections that are going to open doors for you. So once you have your LinkedIn profile, what you need to start doing, here's your picture and then your lines of text and little windows there. You need to start reaching out to people. This could be, Boeing. This could be Facebook. And these are real people that want to talk to people. Build-A-Bear, or Frustration Hardware, or Google. So you want to engage with people, and you can't wait for people to engage with you. And I threw out an earlier example of my friend Ryan at Boeing, who's in Phantom Works there, and he gets great opportunities coming to him, which are flowing this way. That's what happens when you start really getting yourself in some great positions with great companies, is people will start engaging you and it will start flowing the other way. That's what happens, is people start reaching out to you and saying, hey, would you like this offer? Or hey, would you help me get into the company? So it's a two-way street. Initially, you have to start it, especially if you're looking for a job right now or you're not employed. You need to start engaging with others. And you can see it's a two-way street. And what happens is people will start getting together with you for coffee. People will start telling you how they got into the company. People will start sharing with you, hey, if you're going into an interview, here's the things that you need to look out for. And you know what? Here's the bottom line, is that a lot of people just really need to brush up on their friendship skills. Back in first grade, elementary school, middle school, most people could just befriend somebody like that, like, hey, blah blah blah. What'd you bring for lunch today? Now most people, I don't think I've ever asked somebody, hey, what did you bring for lunch today? In a while. I mean, that's just like simple friendship stuff. But most people have kind of gotten more dull on their friendship skills and their networking skills. So my advice is get a LinkedIn profile going, make it world class, and then start engaging with people. And again, some people will do that and reach out to you. Some people won't. You don't want to just send a message to somebody saying, hey, tell me how to interview, or hey, would you help me get a job? We provide scripts to people when we do your LinkedIn profile. And a lot of people will come to us and say, listen, I just don't have the time to build something like this out. I don't know the keywords. I don't know all the stuff that I should put in here. I don't know what it takes to get found on LinkedIn and rise to the top of the search results when someone's looking for a product manager. So we handle that for people, and certain people, I get it, they've been out there searching for a job for 4 months, 5 months, that's you, and you haven't had that much success, and you're ready to have somebody help you handle this and show you how to network and show you how to get your foot in the door at a company, and engage with people who are directors or vice presidents or product managers at companies. That's who we provide these services to. Now, one thing I will say is that if you're just someone out there and you're looking to have a LinkedIn profile done and you don't want to put in the time to network and reach out to people and engage people, this is not for you. So if you're just looking for a handout, it's not going to happen. We don't think this is the right fit for you. But if you're someone out there who's saying, yes, I want my LinkedIn profile done, I want it to look incredible, I want it to be well branded, and be perceived out there as the candidate of choice, then we are looking to work with you on this. And we only have a certain number of LinkedIn authors who can do this. So we do fill up on this, and sometimes we can't take any more people in on this particular service that we offer. If that's the case and the link below is closed, what I would encourage you to do is sign up for the waiting list, and as soon as a spot opens up, we will reach out to you, we will engage you, we want to help you, and as soon as a spot opens up, we'll engage with you. In case you're wondering, once you sign up for LinkedIn Master Profile, what happens, we will have your account representative, your LinkedIn author, come out, actually give you a phone call. They won't come to see you, but they will give you a phone call. They'll find out what your targets are, what your experience is, where you want to be, what kind of information do you have that we can put on your LinkedIn profile. So that's what happens. And if you have more questions, you can hit the phone number. It's either in the top left or the top right hand corner. If you have questions, you want to engage somebody right now, you can chat below. But we're excited to talk to you and want to help you in every way that we can, because we know that it takes a lot to get a job nowadays with a great company, and that's what we're here to help you do. So one other thing that I wanted to add, and I'll add one more tip. We could call this number 5, and that is really, you want to, let me just write it this way. Yeah, so this is, you want to engage people who are not recruiters, okay? And it's okay to engage recruiters, but what I will say is that recruiters get hit with so much. About 80 to 90% of all of the job inquiries get pushed onto the recruiters. And we could just talk about Google for a second. Google gets about 3 million job applications a year. It translates out to about 30,000 applications that get hit on every recruiter that works there. Now they do have systems to filter out a lot of the applications, but the recruiters just get blasted with so many applications, and they're so habitually, they're ingrained to just say no to people. They're looking for the quickest way to filter people out and quickly find the diamond in the rough. So if you're engaging with recruiters on LinkedIn, you're saying, hey, check out my profile, or hey, I want to work for Anheuser-Busch or Facebook or Morgan Stanley, whoever it is, you're probably not going to get as much success as if you would reach out to a director or a product manager, or a VP, or an assistant, VP. You want to reach out to somebody else at the company who's not just getting blasted by waves and waves of thousands of people. And these are some of the types of people that, you can reach out to at companies, and they're more open to having a great conversation. And I want to say too that it is really about the way that you engage with people through LinkedIn, what you specifically send them, the verbiage. If you send them a message that's just, hey, I want to come work for Facebook, how can I get in? People are not going to engage with you. I think it takes some, definitely takes some words of admiration, telling people how much you admire their career path, how much you, think that they've done an amazing job in establishing themselves as a wonderful professional, and it's incredible the value that they're putting out there. Something along those lines to let them know that you genuinely appreciate them and appreciate the work that they're doing, and that you'd love to follow in their footsteps. And when you say something like that to somebody, and this is just coming out of me right now, it's just off the top of my head, that's something that people connect with, that resonates with them, and that people will respond to and say, hey, I see myself in this younger person here, or this person here, and I'd love to help them, get a foot in the door. And you can continuously, with your correspondences with either him or her, whether it's a director at Energizer or Facebook or Nestle or whoever it is, just keep stirring the warmth of those conversations, and they'll want to help you. And finally, just to talk about networking, and I only said I was going to give away 3 tips here, but I like to give away a lot of value, and I think that's one of the keys. And so I'm going to write that down, and you might say, well, what does that even mean? What does that mean, adding value to your network? Okay, so this is really important. This is probably what I'm going to end with, and it's probably the most important part of what I'm saying here. You need to be adding value to your network. Now, a lot of younger people in college, this may or may not be you, but if you're at a college, a lot of college people say, listen, I don't have a network. I don't know who to reach out to, and things along those lines. And the truth is that everybody, I don't care who you are, no matter who you are, you have a network. You just don't realize it, or you're telling yourself that you don't have a network. But everybody has family and relatives who have friends, classmates, former classmates, neighbors who you grew up around. If you're just out of college, neighbors who you grew up around, kids who you used to hang out with in your neighborhood, or their parents who probably have great jobs. You've got aunts, you've got uncles, teachers who, college professors who probably know a ton of people in business. There's a lot of different people that you can engage with, even if you're just out of college. Now, on the other hand, if you're, 10-year, 15, 20-year career professional, you definitely have a network. It's the people who you've worked with previously. It's your friends, neighbors. It's, the people who you're friends with on Facebook. And so this is your network. It's all the people that I just named, and even more than that. It's, businesses that you've gone into, accounts that you've set up at different companies that you've serviced. That is your network. And the thing is that you need to be adding value to your network. And your network should also be tied into your LinkedIn. So adding value to your network and engaging with the people in your network, you need to be maintaining an active network, and that includes on LinkedIn. So I know people who are constantly posting interesting stuff on LinkedIn, and that's a way for them to engage with their network. People who post articles, people who share, great news feeds, people who are sharing. I just saw on my own LinkedIn profile, somebody was sharing these great pictures of this convention that they went to. It was for a licensing convention, and he was posting pictures with big stuffed animals from a lot of the Disney movies, and he was out there trying to get licensings for the products that he sells. And he's there with Nemo and all these different, animals. And sure enough, I'm talking about him right now because he's sticking out in my mind. He's engaging with his network. He's posting great content onto LinkedIn. But you also got to be calling people and adding value. A lot of adding value to your network, that's what keeps your network alive. If you're not adding value to your network, you're not calling people just to say hello and keep relationships going, that just doing that in itself, if you keep your relationships going, if you keep your network going, you keep engaging with people, just say hi, how you doing? I just landed here, at JFK. I'm here in New York. I don't have time to get together with you right now, but I just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you. Let's try to get together, the next time I come up here, or if you're out in LA, give me a call. And that's just engaging with your network, keeps your network churning, and this is so important, and adding value to other people. Let them know that you were thinking about them. I'll tell you one more tip. One of the greatest things you can do to impress people in your network is call them on their birthday. Save their birthday in your phone. There's even ways to call people, and you can go straight to their voicemail and say hello. But if you call somebody on their birthday, they will always remember that. Especially as people get older, to their 40s, 50s, and 60s, sometimes people don't call them. So I've really gone through a lot of different things when it comes to LinkedIn and networking. And they call it, the LinkedIn network. What's your LinkedIn network like, right? So if you need help with this, you can reach out to us. We do the branded LinkedIn profiles. It's called LinkedIn Master Profile. If you're tired of not getting, results through, your networking, and you need help with this, we're here to do that. And we go through, a full step process with this, and it goes from branding out your profile, setting it up with all the right keywords, and basically getting this in a presentation format to position you as the candidate of choice. So we've done this for a lot of people. It's been very successful. When companies come on to this, I've even gotten feedback from the different companies that we speak with. They love it. They love the profiles. They're captivating, and it's one of those things where if you have a great profile, you can get a job out of it. If you don't have a great profile and there's things on there that shouldn't be on there, it can blow your chances with a company. So we help you with that profile. In addition to that, you'll also get the in-mail templates and the secrets that we do, the secrets that we have on how to best connect with people to open a door. We give you the script, so you don't have to say, well, I wonder what I should say to this person. Should I say this or should I say that? We've already got the proven scripts to send to people that work, that do open the doors, that get engagements back. We've gone through all the split testing with that. Does this script work better with this person, or does that script work better? And you may want to use your own script based on why you're reaching out to somebody or you're not reaching out to somebody. But as soon as they look, remember this, as soon as they look at your resume, if you're a serious contender for the position, they will go and look at your LinkedIn profile. That is the second place they're going. And again, remember tip number one is you want to be searchable. You want everything to check out on your LinkedIn profile so you can move to the next round, which is either the phone interview or it's an in-person interview, depending on where you're at. So if you need help, call us. Again, you have to be willing to do the work, which is reaching out to people, engaging people, networking, and being able to push yourself to get out there and network with people in the end is incredibly important, because if you have a LinkedIn profile and you don't do anything with it, it's not going to matter. So these are the 3 tips, which I actually broke down into 6 different tips to really help you understand the value of using LinkedIn and why it's so important to have a world-class LinkedIn profile. So I hope that registers with you. I hope it means something to you. I hope that this provides more clarity and is very, very helpful to you. And you know how to reach us. Again, phone number's in the top. You can click the button below. If we're already sold out and there's a waiting list, I encourage you to sign up for the waiting list, and we'll get you taken care of as soon as we get some LinkedIn authors that are freed up.